Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over the top teams for endless difficulty of lone gaze, and as you guys have noticed probably now, because we've reached the level cap of 801, all of the teams that we're going to be showing are probably going to remain to be the best teams for endless up until the time that we get mythic charms, which is going to shake things up a lot. And actually not even just regular mythic charms, when we get mythic plus charms, that is when things are going to change. But the thing is, we're not actually going to be getting them on day 56 from the Vietnam server. Basically on day 56 we're going to be getting the base mythic charms, and we will have to wait until I think day 70 or later of the season to get actually mythic plus charms, which are the ones which can give skill power potentially and other things. And so most likely these teams are not really going to be changing until maybe day 70 or later. Okay, so here we have a free-to-play resonating level team. It can even work on hell difficulty. Basically, if your level is quite low, then this is a good team option, using Rainier at Mythic Plus, Rainier in front of Sinbad, Sonya buffing up Sinbad and Mikola, and Coco in front of the Sonya with the Blade Summon spell. We'll do a run of this team. It can also work, it can work well even a higher level. However, there are going to be better team options, which are even more free-to-play friendly. This is just a team that I wanted to show you because it is one of top performing basically Rainier teams, even at a lower resonating level. So maybe if you began the season late, or if your level is still kind of low, you can try out this team. Okay, but yeah, that is the interesting thing, that we're not going to be getting the Mythic Plus Magic Charms for some time. And this is being confirmed because on the Vietnam server, they have passed day 56 of the new season, and they only got the base mythic charms, which is going to be somewhat of a difference because it's going to upgrade the quality bonus from a legendary quality bonus to a mythic charm quality bonus. However, that is really not that game changing. It's much more important, for example, to get the mythic plus set effect. Okay, so we're going to have 57 billion damage off that team, which is, yeah, it's not going to obviously compete for the top ranks, but it is a pretty overall solid team. Now we have Jake's team. This is very free-to-play friendly, and this is going to be basically only using Freyaster as a Celestial Hypogean, which a lot of people have begun working for. Main Freyaster in front of Mikola, Illusion in front of Shakir, Smokey in front of Sonya, Sonya buffing up both Freyasters with the Harmonic spell. Now, the thing with these type of teams is the more upgraded you have your Freyaster, like for example, Mythic plus 10 exclusive equipment, or even above that, like Supreme plus 15, or even Supreme plus 20 exclusive equipment, the more upgraded your Freyaster, the more attack you will have, and the more damage you're going to get in these Freyaster carry comps. Because now that we've moved into endless difficulty, you're going to be seeing Freyaster as the major damage source in a lot of team comps, especially the more free-to-play friendly versions. But in order for you to maximize your score, you're going to need to have Freyaster quite highly upgraded. So you might be thinking, if you have like a Mythic plus 10 exclusive equipment Freyaster, you're not going to be able to keep up with the damage of someone who has like a Supreme plus 20 exclusive equipment Freyaster because of the attack stat difference between the two. But this is going to be 67 billion damage. Smokey did die towards the end, but I think that is kind of like bound to happen. Your Smokey probably will not survive those final hits, and anyway, he survived almost the entire fight. That was like with 5 seconds or 3 seconds left. Freyaster did a huge amount of damage, but the more upgraded your Freyaster, the more damage he will be dealing. Even at Mythic Plus, it will be effective, and it might be your best team option. However, the damage output is going to be lower, so just keep that in mind. And that is why it is recommended to actually max out your Freyaster if you want him to his full potential for Dream Realm. Okay, now we have Shorty's team. So there's going to be Smokey in the front, Hugin in front of the Sinbad, Sonya buffing up Sinbad, and the Mikola with the Blade Summon spell. Try to get the charm, especially legendary charms if you can, onto Hugin, onto Sinbad, and if you can onto Sonya like we have here. Smokey as well, because his damage is pretty high, and so the increased stats you will gain from the legendary charms are going to be useful. Mikola charms hardly matter. Her damage output is low, and she doesn't get a very important like upgrade to the quality bonus from epic to legendary. But yeah, I'm interested to see whether when we get the mythic base charms, is a quality bonus going to change any of the top optimal performing teams for Dream Realm, or are all the teams going to be basically the same but just a bit damage boosted? Because, for example, one thing I know for sure is that charm bonus is really good for Harak. It will increase basically the stacking attack that Harak gains over the course of the fight, which would probably make Harak teams more competitive than they already are. But when we get the Mythic Plus Magic Charms, which will give you like skill power and ultimate power, that is when potentially we will see the fall of Harak. But that will only be after day 70 of the new season. So this is 62 billion damage. but it doesn't have any Celestial Hypogeans. And in a team like this, you can run it even if your Hugin is low Ascension, like Legendary Plus. As long as the Hugin is able to survive, this team is going to work. And you're going to see here that Hugin tanked some damage. Yeah, he did, I guess, tank quite a bit of damage. But, yeah, I mean, his shielding should allow to keep your allies safe. That is basically the whole idea. Legendary Plus or above, you can give this team a try. And so that is why it's a pretty good budget option. Okay, now we have EBZ's team. EBZ's team is going to be very good if you have Harak. And if you have Fresto and Rainier, but if you don't have the twins. If you have the twins, there is an overall better team, which is the top team of today. But this is going to be your best option if you do not have the twins, but you have Fresto, Rainier, and Harak. It's going to be Illusion in front of the Rainier. Main Fresto in the corner in the back. Mikola in front of the main Fresto. Sonya buff got main Fresto and Harak. Rainier in front of the Harak with the Blade Summon spell. This team is very effective. So, of course, Harak is going to be ramped up. And that is what I was talking about. When we get the mythic quality charms, just the base mythic charms, then the quality bonus of Harak is going to be better than, for example, at legendary tier. So I expect the Harak teams to do even better. But when we get the mythic plus charms, which will probably be on day 70 or later, then I'm expecting potentially Harak to fall off. But we'll have to see. It would be amazing if Harak could still remain meta in top Dream Realm teams, even after we get Mythic Plus Charms. And it is possible because this season we're getting 4 skill power and ultimate power as compared to last season 5 skill power and ultimate power. So it is a nerf to all of the teams which do depend on that. This is going to be almost 78 billion damage, which is a really good score. And that is going to be like 60 billion damage coming from the Harak. So this is a really solid team, and it can potentially get even higher. Can it get higher than this? Yeah, it can, I think, potentially get even higher than this with better RNG. It comes down to, like, the Harak timing of everything. I think people have gotten 80 billion damage from this team. So, yeah, it is a very good team. Okay, now we have one team I'm very impressed by, Pro Epi's team, because it's quite free-to-play friendly, and I love these teams, and definitely when we get the Mythic Plus charms to power up Shakir further, this team, or even the Twins further, this is going to become even crazier, this team comp. I'm expecting potentially this team comp to be the top team once we get Mythic Plus charms, but up until that point, this is only like the second best. It's going to be with the Harmonic spell, Smokey up in the front, Nicola to the right of Smokey, Elijah, blue-haired twin on the left of Smokey, Illusion behind Smokey, main Festo behind the Mikola, and Lila in the back, pink-haired twin. Shakir behind the main Festo for energy recovery with the Harmonic spell. Harmonic spell, you guys know, does very well because of the attack and haste that it provides to your allies, especially if they're at a high enough health ratio. So in this position, Shakir will be buffing up almost your entire team. Shakir does very well in lone gaze along with Festo because your team can be very grouped up and he can provide a higher attack buff value to all of your grouped up allies. And most importantly, if he can get it onto Smokey, which I think he is in range of the Smokey right here. During the cast of the blue aura of Smokey, that is massive damage output that he's going to be able to deal. Again, this team is going to be RNG dependent. This is a very similar team to actually what was run in the previous season. Of course, without the twins because the twins didn't exist at that time. But it is a high RNG team because you need like the perfect positioning of Shakir to buff up the Smokey throughout his blue aura duration to maximize his damage output. And so on this run, we are going to get a new record compared to the Harak team. However, it has potential to go even higher than this, like well over 80 billion damage. It has a potential of doing that. This is 78.7 billion damage. Freyasto, of course, look at that, 50 billion damage, and the Smokey as well. And it's all because of your grouped up ally team. Also the haste stacking from the twins and Shakir, and even Mikola and Smokey, basically to allow Freyasto to stack his Vicious Stings more onto the boss, which deal his HP per second damage. Okay guys, so there we go, 88 billion damage, that is what I'm talking about. So looking at the damage here, you can definitely tell that Smokey did more damage and even Freyasto did more damage compared to our run, which wasn't as good. And it is all just about the timing and the positioning of Shakir's Lupine's aura, how many allies are within the range to be buffed up by his attack buff, because the more allies within range, the higher attack buff value, and that is going to be increasing the damage output of Freyasto and also Smokey. And also, it is about the timing of just how many cycles of Vicious Sting Freyasto can get off onto the boss. But there you go. It is an RNG team, but not too bad in RNG. We did like 3 runs and we got our pretty much capped out score. Okay guys, now we're going to show you the overall top team of today, which is Crow's team. It is very pay to win because 4 Celestial Hypogeans are needed. You don't need to have the Rainier at Supreme or at Supreme Plus, just Mythic Plus Rainier is fine. But all the other 3 Celestial Hypogeans you definitely want at Supreme Plus with the Harmonic spell. It is going to be, if we take a look at the positioning, Illusion up in front of the Rainier, Rainier in front of the Harak. Your main Festo and Harak are both on the Stellar Bond, and Lila pink-haired twin in the front, Elijah blue-haired twin in the back, Mikola up front in front of the main Festo. With the Harmonic spell, you're going to want to max out the charms here, like ideally even legendary and refined charms on Harak, Festo, the twins you would have from the Charm Merchant, and Rainier. Rainier just needs legendary charms, they don't need to be refined, and Mikola's charms are the least important. So this is again a very high RNG team. You're going to have to do a lot of runs to get the maximum score, but this team has the potential of breaking 100 billion damage today. And that is actually kind of ridiculous. I feel like because of the great quality bonus of charms for the Harak in this season, I have a feeling that Harak is actually going to be competitive for a top team even after we all get our Mythic Plus charms unlocked. Because honestly speaking, over 100 billion damage with only legendary charms is insane. This is way higher scores than we've ever seen before in any season. So the twins are going to go down, which is to be expected. And now it is just going to be about Harak bursting as much as possible. But look at the Frestos. They're also bursting with their Vicious Sting. Nice, we got a Devour onto the Illusion. So the other Fresto is able to attack. And look at that, 104 billion damage on our first run. We got incredible RNG. That is actually insane RNG. I was not expecting that. So 68, almost 69 billion damage from Harak, 21 billion damage from Festo. Honestly, guys, we got basically the dream RNG, dream run on the first attempt. Because I was just thinking even 103 billion damage would be insane. And when you take a look at this, like our rank 2, who is also very well built, like a pretty much full Paragon 4 count, where they got 101 billion, and it is just down to the RNG. We really lucked out today. So anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully from these teams you're able to use one, which is going to get you a top score in the Dream on Boss today. If there's any other team which worked for you, you can feel free to share in the comments section, and I do appreciate that. And thank you guys for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. We're on our road to 20,000 subscribers, and also hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever we upload our latest video. And guys, you can join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. I look forward to chatting with you guys there. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.